I don't like being so mad on a Friday.
Yeah, what's going on, Kenny? Come on, we had
because-
so much fun yesterday at the CSU game. We're here, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed on a Friday.
I mean, we're talking 216-474-0092. I won't yell at you guys. You're not getting paid by the fan. I yelled at Daryl. I'll ask you guys. Am I the only one living in reality? Like, it's an important position. It's an important position to hire. And I'm already going, well, I don't care. Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for hopping on. It doesn't matter. And then when you say you're willing to pound the table for John Harbaugh, who wasn't willing to pound the table for John Harbaugh? So what were we doing this entire year? Was anybody paying attention except for me? Excuse me. Was anybody paying attention except for me and the fans and you? I'll give you, you know what? Was anybody paying attention except for this show? And I'll give the afternoon drive, even though I've disagreed with him many times. I'm going to address something that Nick just tweeted at me here in a second. Was anybody paying attention other than this? Did we not say this a million times over that when you fire a guy, I'm just going to start screaming into the microphone. I don't want to do that.
You had an envelope, Kenny. You had a list.
Because you have to have an effing plan when you fire somebody. You can't just say, well, he needs to be fired. That's exactly what I've been ranting and raving about. What happened just there on the phone is exactly what I've been yelling about for months. For months. For months. I didn't know it was going to happen. Just decided to move on. Oh, okay. With no plan. No plan whatsoever. Yeah, I know. Because I was thinking of Click Kubiak's dad, I accidentally wrote down Broncos. I'm sorry. On the last one. On the one before, I got it all right. I'm just holding on to the last one. I mean, this was the second draft was done on December 13th. Who did they play after December 13th? December 14th is when they played the Bears. I had this thing done before they went out there and walked around against the Bears in cold weather. What's the point? What's the point? I mean, you say what you want to. I know that plenty of people disagree. At least there's a damn effort. For the love of God, we're supposed to come up with ideas of who we want them to have. Or you don't make the difference, and we're a week into this, and what? Because we didn't get John Harbaugh, who wasn't going to interview here in the first place, and we all secretly knew it in the back of our heads. We were hoping, but we knew. Now it doesn't matter, and they should have just held on to Kevin. Good God.
I'm bummed because
Good God.
I didn't get to act.
Could we be any more bipolar as a media?
I didn't.
Could we be any worse?
I didn't get to jump on the Josh McDaniels train again this time.
God, it's so.
Of course, if the Patriots go to the Super Bowl, he's going to look like a pretty good offensive mind again.
He ain't on the air right now. He'll be on the air at 10. If he wants to rip me up and down, fine. Go right on ahead. Take over the midday, rip me. I don't care. I don't care. It's you can't. Like if Daryl was my buddy at the Streetsboro High School football game and was just looking at me going, I don't care. Just get rid of him. We'll get whoever. That's fine. No big deal. It's our job. Is it not our job to find a guy and defend like Nick? Nick Wilson said, I don't know how. I can't see the video or I can't listen to the video, so maybe it's not in there. I apologize. Nick said, Ken, I'm not hearing the why on Udinski in this video. What has he done that makes him your guy? Asking honestly. I'm at the point right now where I'm hearing some things about Schwartz from some people that I don't necessarily care for, where it's like, hey, you know, he is a hard-headed man. He's 59 years old. So that kind of throws me off a little bit. And so that kind of makes me nervous about Udinski or McDaniel or anybody like that. But if you get a 30-year-old guy, you're going to have to help him. Jim's going to have to know that. All right? Maybe that's part of the reason where they had one of the top 5 defenses 2 years ago. They didn't get any interviews for him. Or he didn't get any interviews. I don't know. I'm a big Jim Schwartz fan. I thought that it would be the least offensive of all the hires that they could get. Mike McDaniel, I think you got to air him out a little bit. But when it comes to Udinski, I'm giving you a bunch of things. Fine. Clearly, he's helped quarterbacks. Clearly, he's helped change the culture. Clearly, he's done all these things because I can't judge him because of play calling, even though I think the play calling is overrated. But we love to do it because it's something we can see every Sunday. So I'll say this. I'm not mad at Nick. I'm mad about other things. I ain't mad at Nick. Nick's a good host. Nick's a good guy. Not going after Nick. Daryl's a good guy and a good host, too. I'm really, really angry about the last call. That's all. He's clearly done all those things because if he clearly hasn't, then he has the greatest agent in the history of agents. That football coaches, not just insiders, not just the Schregers, and Jeremy Fowler's going to join us at 9:20. He clearly has all those things. Or he has the greatest agent who ever lived, because it's one thing for insiders to say it. It's another thing for other coaches to say it. It's another thing for other people around the game in the league to say it. They've said it about this guy, and I do feel in so many ways, I agree with Daryl. I don't think we're going anywhere in 2026. I think we'll probably win somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 6 games, just like you had said. I hope they win more, but I'm going to go low, okay? But pointing that out is that in that season, you will be more understanding of the 30-year-old, more than likely, more understanding of the 30-year-old than you are the 59-year-old. You're going to be more understanding. I'm trying to think of the best way to go through a tough season again for all of us.
I'm just telling you right now, though, Kenny, if they get off to a slow start with 30-year-old Udinski, who's never called plays before, never had any kind of big responsibility before, that's where you really test the mettle of a coach, because Mike Tomlin got off to a great start right away. Sean McVay, 11-6 right away, Super Bowl 13-3 next year. Like, that's easy. You get the buy-in.
Unless he does something that's record this.
If you have a typical Browns start to a season and they struggle and Shedeur doesn't look like he took a step forward, and now there's more conversation. Do the Browns need to trade for another quarterback? Do we need a tank for how do you survive that?
You're right. Great question. Glad you asked it, because I'll answer Nick's question again. Is if he goes out there and he looks completely overmatched as a football coach, as a decision maker, anything like that, and boy, we've known it, it's been a possibility because it's happened to us before, 2019. If he looks completely overmatched, then I don't just, hey, if he's not ready to be a head coach, I'm a person who's gullible. I listen to a lot of people, obviously, and you can blame me as you want, but I'm just a media guy and a radio head and a guy getting mad on a Friday morning when I really shouldn't. But I'll turn right around and go, what did he do to convince you guys that you needed to hire him and lead him down the primrose path and lead this team down the primrose path? What did Andrew want out of this? Because, I'll meet Daryl halfway on something. I thought if you're going to make a change, you just go the entire way. But if you get a 30-year-old Udinski, hey, you know what? You could fire Andrew. That 30-year-old who's going to be 31 is staying after this year. If you win 5 or 6 games, they're going to go back and forth. And then maybe Udinski gets his guy. Maybe Udinski gets his quarterback finally. And hopefully we're not sitting here screaming and yelling at each other after how many years of being on the air with each other, one of us. I mean, how long? So hopefully we won't get another third-round wide receiver to alligator arm a pass, and then we won't have to go through all this again. So that's where I'm at on Udinski. Clearly he's done some things that we haven't seen because we haven't had a chance to see him. We haven't had a chance to see him. There's so many guys who do not get brought up in these circles. And maybe they're jealous. Maybe he would be a mess. But I've seen other guys. It's all the same. It's all, maybe Kenny, it'll work. Maybe it won't. We'll see how it works. So I want to go with the guy who might have, maybe he has the highest ceiling. If we are so obsessed with offense, to me it's either Jim or it's Udinski, and let's let it ride.
I just remember all the conversation about all these amazing leadership qualities in the infrastructure and culture of New England Gerard Mayo had. And he went 4-13 and got fired. And that guy played in the NFL and had that you would have thought instant credibility, right? Instant credibility. He played in the league, knows the league. It wasn't that long ago. He's obviously a disciple of Belichick. Like, he's checks off all these boxes, and 4-13 fired. So that's why. What are even the boxes for Udinski? I'm just playing devil's advocate here because might be the next Sean McVay. Don't know. Obviously has not called plays like Sean McVay had before he got his job. But that is what makes me nervous. I'm not going to lie. That is what absolutely makes me nervous.
I don't think anybody wouldn't be nervous. But I'm nervous about all of them.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about all of them. But my issue with all of this is that we had to know going in that it wasn't going to be a great big crop of coaches. Again, this was written 2 months ago at the very beginning. Wait, November is when I first did this. Kurt Cignetti was never on this list. Ryan Day was never on this list. Andy Reid in a trade was never on this list. I mean, come on, let's get serious here. It was, hey, let's go down and let's hit the phones and let's start texting some people about it. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I had heard of Udinski from a guy I know up in Minnesota, Matt. I told you that. But he wasn't on this list because I thought, hey, he's 30 years old. That's still a little bit young. Not on this list. And most of these guys have already. Has Clint Kubiak, has he interviewed yet? Anywhere?
With I thought he had something lined up.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a check next to him. Joe Brady, I don't think has. Has Joe Brady? I don't think he has. So I got 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6 that I like. I'll tell you a name that I put on there, and I'll be honest with you guys. I put a name on there, and I go, well, he'll run the ball pretty well. And then I went, it's going to go over like a lead balloon. You want me to tell you that name? I was like, would Arthur Smith get another crack at it? And then sure as hell, he's getting an interview to be a head coach. I don't think he'd go over well here.
Clint Kubiak interview with the Falcons.
There you go. Thank you very much. I'm going on their station today at 3:20. 92.9 The Game. So Daryl's going to be on at 10. I'm sure, and he should rip me because I just, went after him. All's fair. And I'm glad Nick asked the question because I let me reiterate for everybody going to work why I wanted Yudinsky. It's a good question to ask. See, we're all working together here. It's just, man, like, this is why I I don't like firing guys. If it's necessary to do, hear it in me. Hear how frustrated I am. Hear how I wanted to scream at Daryl while he's a guest on the show. Because looking for coaches sucks. It sucks. Oh, he hasn't called plays. Mike McDaniel's called plays. Would you guys be throwing a parade for him? You have Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz, he's got us, and he's got Baltimore, and nobody else has really been interested. Would you be throwing a parade for him? It's like 50-50 on everything. And so you can only go because there's no college tape that you can watch. It's just philosophy. It's just what you think that guy's going to do. And remember, they all have their ideas until they're thrown into that spot. So we have to throw in trust on guys that we're nervous about.
Did we make a mistake not firing Stefanski earlier and letting Schwartz get the interim tag? And then had they have won those last 2 games of the year, at least having those warm and fuzzies?
Honestly, it's probably the best of the ideas that have been thrown around here over the last 40 minutes. 216-474-0092. Jeremy Fowler, you're not going to want to miss it. We're hearing more about Todd Monken, a second interview, according to Peter Schrager, coming next week with the Cleveland Browns. We thought that he was going to the Giants. Not so fast. He could be coming back to Cleveland and interviewing on Tuesday.